And so in the Jewish tradition, there's that famous parable where two rabbis are arguing over a passage in the Torah. And they've been arguing and arguing for days, into weeks, into months, and into years. And they can never agree on what this interpretation is about, how to correctly understand this passage in the Torah. So finally, God, who has the patience of a saint, but getting increasingly frustrated by this conversation, says, I'm going to go down and I'm going to tell them what it means. So God comes down, parts the clouds, goes to this park where they're sitting arguing. He says, I have listened to you guys argue for years. I will tell you what this means. And in a rare moment of unity, the two rabbis turn to God and say, what right have you to come down here and tell us what it means? You clear off and let us argue about it, right? Now, what's going on? Because the idea is, if anybody comes to you and says, this is what the text means, this is what the parable means, this is what the truth is, even if it's the author, if it's God, they've got it wrong. Why? Because you can't reduce it to a single meaning. It's like looking at a painting and thinking that you can reduce the painting to a singular meaning. It's not that the painting lacks meaning. The painting has such a superfluous amount of meaning. It's got so much going on. That's why you have to go back to your favorite paintings again and again and again. You don't just look at it once and say, I've got it. You have to go back and you'll get new things out of it when you bring new things to it. Like a great book. You read a book that's a classic, and the second time you read it, it feels like a different book, speaking to you in different ways. When someone comes to you and says, this is the meaning of the text, if someone comes and says, this is what democracy is, this is what justice is, this is what love is, they don't have it. If you see the Buddha on the road, kill him. Which is a way of saying, if you see democracy on the road, kill it. Because anything that you see is not democracy. It might be a shadow of democracy, a promise of democracy, a type of democracy. But it's not, but democracy is a promise of something to come. It's a promise that is never quite actualized, but that can inspire us to maybe work harder and better.